Okay. Oh, by the way, guys, and also for YouTube, if you are hearing the sound very loud for like a few seconds and then it suddenly goes down, it's because I have this script that I enabled for the game sound that makes the sound get lowered by half so that you guys can actually hear me speaking no matter what happens. So that's probably what happens. So like it stays at 100%, and then after a few seconds it detects that the sound is not going down, so it goes down to like half or something. So that's probably also why in my last video you had the thing where I would pause the stream. And anyway, you'll get it. As for this mystery, I don't really know much other than it was an SOS signal or something, but that's about it. So yeah, let's go. Welcome back. Wait, I'm not supposed to be welcome back. It's my first time here. This video, oh yeah, warning, warning. I'm fine, but... Oh? No, there is a mystery in the woods. Ooh.
Monday.
It's Monday. Mount Ashidake.
The peak is shrouded in fog.
Ooh.
It's the aftermath of one of the most violent storms to hit the area in months.
Oof.
A search helicopter powers through the mist, scouring the region for a pair of hikers from Tokyo who set out the day prior and haven't been seen or heard from since. This hunt has been ongoing for hours, sunlight dwindling as search teams comb every crevice, yet find no trace of anyone around.
Okay.
But as nightfall takes its grip, enveloping the area in complete blackness, suddenly, something strange enters their view.
Oh, oh, jeez. Okay, Jesus Christ. Was that the helicopter searchlight?
Just south of Mount Asahidake, a crudely constructed, massive SOS sign beckons from a clearing.
Is that the survivors?
That the missing hikers have made this, and it's a damn good thing they did, because with conditions like these, finding them otherwise would have been nearly impossible.
Nice.
The team swarms the area with newfound hope that these hikers just might be hiding nearby. They search and search and search until finally they find them.
They what now? Nice!
About a mile north, the two men emerge from a cave. They are completely disoriented, battered, and exhausted, but most prominently are in complete disbelief that the rescuers found them. As they're pulled up into the aircraft, the search team reassures them that they're gonna be okay before commending them on their efforts while out there. "We couldn't have found you without your help," they claim. "You guys did a really great job building that sign."
Sign is red.
The men pause for a minute, visibly confused. "I'm sorry. We didn't build the sign. We have no idea what you're talking about."
Well, at least they got found because of it, so that's good. The animation is pretty cool too. It reminds me a lot of Fern and other channels of the type. Oh, creepy.
You know, I'll admit, the island of Hokkaido is beautiful.
Is it?
It's a landscape adorned with volcanic mountaintops, trails with serene views, and a multitude of steam vents, giving the area an almost dreamlike aesthetic.
I mean, it looks more like a bunch of...
No wonder that it's one of the most popular hiking spots
well, whatever.
in Japan, as no matter what time of year you go, you're bound to have an experience you'll never forget.
Shut up. I wasn't talking shut up to the guy on the video. I was saying it to my fucking dishwasher.
From the summit of Mount Asahidake, it was 2.6 miles directly south where the SOS sign awaited.
Uh-huh.
Resting in a relatively flat wetland, it was constructed with 19 cleanly cut birch tree logs, each measuring at around 16 feet long.
Did they show it to the survivors?
The deviation down here is considerably longer than the main hiking trail on the mountain, making its existence entirely perplexing.
Oh yeah.
As far as it's known, there are no trails south of this mountain, implying that whoever built it had to have made their diversion from the north. A detour littered with steep cliffs, a dense forest, and even the turbulent Chubetsu River. At this point, it's completely unknown how this person got here, and for Japanese police, it was undeniable that a mystery was brewing on the mountain.
Huh.
Someone is still out there, likely pleading for help.
Maybe. One day later. Wait, there's a road over there?
One day later, a second team is dispatched to probe the area for any signs of hikers in distress, this time with emphasis on the wetland the sign sits in. And while they all held out hope of finding someone still alive, unfortunately, just a few short hours into their search, they'd uncover quite the contrary.
Uh-oh.
Hidden near the SOS sign are scattered human remains covered in bite marks from wildlife, and nearby, a backpack containing various items. A Sony Walkman, 4 cassette tapes, toothpaste, a bar of soap, and a towel.
Uh-huh.
At first glance, it's obvious that the belongings and the human bones are connected. However, a curious question lingered in everyone's mind. How did this person with enough energy and strength to build an SOS sign out of 19 massive logs allow themselves to die in nature?
Yeah. Good
For
point.
the rescue team, nothing further was discovered that day. For what it's worth, though, this seemed like a pretty open and shut case. Locals have claimed that the weather on this mountain is volatile, with thunderstorms rolling in with hardly any notice. Perhaps this person got turned around, mistakenly made their way down here, and spent their final days awaiting help that never came.
Maybe, yeah.
The
Maybe.
sight at the SOS sign and the story it tells is grim, but all things considered, this case, again, seemed relatively straightforward. Someone passed away here and built an SOS sign before it happened. The only question really was, who was it?
Yeah, there's no
How
ident-
exactly did they get here?
There's no like identification in their backpack or anything? Why are even the houses creepy? Ah!
2 days pass, and examiners from the Asahikawa Medical University notify Hokkaido police that the human bones belong to a female. Reportedly, she was about 5 foot 3 inches tall,
Mm-hmm.
had type O blood, was somewhere between 20 and 40 years old
That's
at
a
the time
big-
of her death.
That's a big variation, but okay. Between 20 and 40, so 20, okay, whatever.
Carried bone fractures in multiple locations, and died within the span of 1 to 3 years prior.
Oh,
Aside from this, there was no further identifying information about her.
wait a minute.
Aside from this, within the span of 1
Oh god, okay. I read that was about 1 to 3 years old. I was like, wait, what?
to 3 years prior. Aside from this, there was no further identifying information about her, and effectively, she was considered. Something is wrong.
Huh?
This doesn't make any sense at all.
What? Huh?
Upon calculating the weight of the SOS logs by utilizing numerous wood weight charts online, I found that 16-foot segments of birchwood weighs anywhere between 150 and 400 pounds each, depending on diameter. Multiply this by the 19 segments this sign is comprised of, and we have a whopping total range of 2,850 and 7,600 pounds of total weight making up this sign. So, with this information, we're left to assume that a 5'3" female with fractured bones had the energy and strength to not only cut down 19 massive trees with tools that were never found, but also had the stamina to transport anywhere between 1 and 3 tons of weight completely by herself. Let's not forget, either, that all of this was done after taking a treacherous 2.6-mile diversion down the south side of the mountain, undoubtedly causing considerable exhaustion from the elements.
That is true.
Without help, constructing this sign alone is an extraordinary feat. A
Yeah.
feat that doesn't add up given the context here. So, was this person actually alone? Or was there perhaps someone else that died there with her?
Huh? Oh, right.
Before we continue, right, so open up knowledge, and for you online, Nexpo.com off the market.
Something, what is this about? Incognito, okay.
Or click the link below to take your personal data.
Support the
off
creators,
market.
guy.
Thank you so much to
Blah, blah, blah,
everyone
I
for
can't speak.
sponsoring tonight's video. Now let's get back.
Support the creators, guys. There. I couldn't speak. I was very enthralled by everything.
To it.
God damn it, why is it so creepy?
It's late at HQ, and investigators are scouring for clues. Of everything they uncovered, the cassette tapes seem to be the most promising lead on uncovering the identity of this woman. And so, they put them in their tape player and begin to listen. As they play, they're met with musical tracks taken from various anime TV shows.
Okay.
However, once they make it to the last one, something strange gives them pause.
Hmm? What is it? Huh? What is that? What is that for? What is that for?
Despite the bones being female, the voice on this recording, clearly in distress, belongs to a man. And the translation: SOS, help me. I'm stuck on the cliff. SOS, help me. I'm at the location where I first met the helicopter. The Sasa is deep and I can't climb up. Please pick me up here. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the blatant parallels to the SOS sign, I can't help but find it strange that this man uses not a single phrase implying that he's with someone.
Oh.
I don't know about you, but if I were stranded somewhere with another person, I'd plead for someone to help us, because we are the ones stuck here.
Good
In
point.
this recording, though, it sounds as if he's completely alone.
You know, the bones could be from a completely unrelated incident also, you know?
Unaware that a female is stranded in the exact same area.
Yeah. It could just be a different thing.
Just like, to him, this female doesn't exist. The woman who the bones belong to and the man who the voice belongs to almost exist in a vacuum. Remnants of two people discovered in the exact same spot, completely unaware of the other's existence.
You know, they could have just mistaken the bones, right?
The only thing tying them together, an SOS sign nearly impossible for one person to build, and whispers of an agonizing death.
Mm-hmm.
A sight of demise that we are years too late with uncovering.
Mm. Okay. Creepy but very interesting.
Fascinated by this case, a Japanese reporter named Koyo Abaratani sets out to the site of the SOS sign in search of any clues the police may have overlooked. While uncovering anything new was one hell of a long shot, surprisingly, after they dug through some tree roots, they actually uncovered something.
Oh?
Just 165 feet north of the SOS sign and hidden under foliage was a large hole containing various belongings. 2 cameras, a notebook, and most prominently,
ID card!
a license.
Or that, yeah.
This ID belonged to a man named Kenji Iwamura, someone from Kannon City in southern Japan, over 800 miles south. This discovery was massive because for all anyone knew, this was bound to be their guy. I mean, this had to have been the voice on the recording, right? And of course, this man must have been associated in some capacity with the female bones found at the same site. While she may be, up to this point, still unidentified, at the very least, those investigating this case finally had a name.
Mm-hmm.
Kenji Iwamura.
I see.
It's the middle of summer, and 24-year-old Kenji Iwamura sets out for Mount Asahidake for a short hiking trip.
Nice.
He arrives at a small mountain lodge at the base of the summit and only plans to be there for a couple nights. Later on, he informs the hotel owner that he's embarking on a hike, ignoring warnings of a storm that would hit the area that night. Hesitant, the owner agrees, and so Kenji sets off from the hotel lobby
With nothing?
and embarks
Well, okay, he obviously had
into
stuff,
the
but...
great unknown.
Tick, tock,
As time ticks by,
tock.
the sky darkens. The hotel owner becoming increasingly anxious and with no way to contact him to confirm how he's faring in this unstable weather. Hours pass.
Yeah, that was
without a
before
word
cell
from
phones,
him.
eh?
The storm comes and goes. The clock approaches. Days pass without a word from him. Weeks come and go.
Why did you not call earlier? After 3-4 days, you gotta call the police, no?
Kenji Iwamura never turned up. He was never seen again. With the discovery of Kenji's ID, police were certain that they'd crack this case. Reportedly, determining gender from bone fragments isn't always accurate.
Exactly.
And for all they knew, they had to belong to him. From here, they tracked down and contacted Kenji's family, believing that this was the final piece of verification they needed to close this case. Their confidence was at an all-time high, catalyzed by his parents later claiming that he was an avid fan of anime and that the backpack they uncovered indeed belonged to him. And so, at last, the police played the cassette tape for them, certain that they'd recognize the voice of their son. And as fate would have it, by the grace of God,
What?
they didn't recognize this voice at all.
God damn it, okay.
They have no idea who this person is.
Well, you know, it could just be a badly recorded thing, you know? Like it was the 80s and stuff. Maybe.
With no evidence of foul play, Hokkaido police, bizarrely, continued to run with their theory that this sign was built by Kenji Iwamura.
I mean, what else are you gonna do at this point?
They cast aside the consensus about the bones, the lack of identification with the voice, and simply ran with it. It took just 11 days for them to close this case, and to this day, the mystery surrounding the SOS sign has been cast into the void of history, solved to them, yet completely bewildering to the world surrounding them. By 1990, the bones were re-examined, and the consensus underwent a surprising change.
Oh?
Reportedly, they never belonged to a woman with type O blood, but rather a man with type A.
Fair enough. I mean, the recording was made in a highly distressed situation, so I don't know, maybe his voice changed, maybe he was fucked up, maybe, you know, a lot of things can happen. I mean, unless there's a really good, because that's the only part where it hits a snag. If there were multiple things that didn't, like, you know, add up, maybe, but I don't see anything else, unless they're gonna show me something else, I don't know.
Why the hell were the bones suddenly reclassified? Who was the man?
Because technology advances, and sometimes you re-examine things. And sometimes you re-examine things.
Recorded on Kenji's tapes. How are these massive trees carried and placed by just one person? And
that is a good point, though.
How are these trees chopped down at all?
Maybe they were washed away?
Taking a broader look at the landscape, we've established that the site of the SOS sign was reached by a diversion from the main Mount Asahidake trail. As we've seen, though, multiple hikers have done this. So how have they all made the exact same mistake? So as it turns out, there's
wait. What did he say?
Have done that Dake at all. Taking a broader look at the landscape, we've established that the site of the SOS sign was reached by a diversion from the main Mount Asahidake trail. As we've seen, though, multiple hikers have done this.
Wait, they already have?
So how have they all made the exact same mistake? So as it turns out, there's an incredibly confusing landmark on the mountain.
Oh?
It's a boulder called Safe Rock, and it's typically used by climbers to orient themselves on their trek, as once you encounter it, you're required to take a right turn to continue your journey to the peak.
I mean, it is. I'm assuming that's why they called it Safe Rock.
Bizarrely, however, there sits another identically shaped boulder right next to Safe Rock, called Fake Safe Rock. Unlike the former, using this one as a guide diverts hikers to the much more dangerous south side of the mountain. Terrain littered with steep cliffs and intense grades filled with a specific type of bamboo, known locally as sasa.
Meaning?
In recent years, fake safe rock has been marked with a rope to signal that you shouldn't follow it. However,
Good.
to this day, hikers often misinterpret it for the actual safe rock, adding even further confusion to an already disorienting situation. I'm sure you're finding this convoluted as I'm explaining it to you. Now imagine if you were faced with this dilemma while exhausted, in the wild,
Yeah.
and completely alone.
That makes
To
sense.
this day, it's believed that both the Tokyo hikers and Kinji Iwamura made this mistake, leaving them both to be stranded and completely helpless. So with this in mind, let's go forth and entertain the idea that Kinji Iwamura was the only one involved here. Let's just say that everything belongs to and was done by no one but him.
What about it?
So it went a little something like this. Kinji Iwamura begins his trek from the lodge and makes his way
Oh, okay. He's doing the like recounting everything. Okay.
up the Asahidake Trail. Because of the impending storm, it's possible that there are few hikers up on the mountain. He makes his journey all the way up before the sky darkens and dense fog rolls in. He encounters the fake safe rock, confusing it for the real one, and makes a right turn, leading him south. As the day bleeds by, he begins to panic, the sky darkening as his psyche becomes ever more anxious. He recognizes not a single thing about the path he's on, and it becomes rapidly clear to him that he's venturing nowhere near
Yeah.
the summit. Completely turned around and with no other choice, he continues, following some semblance of a path, even though it's only heading down. Is he heading back to camp? Are there any towns in this direction? Where exactly is he going? As hours pass, he becomes more panicked and begins screaming for help, for anyone to hear him. He falls off a cliff on the way down and breaks 2 bones, and so, in immense distress, pulls out his Sony Walkman to record an SOS message and later plays it on repeat to save himself from damaging his voice. As he continues to limp downward, he encounters and crosses the Chupetsu River before eventually landing at his final destination, the flat wetland where he would build the SOS and where the two would inevitably remain.
Yeah. But you know, like if there's a lot of storms and there's a river nearby, you know, I guess there could be a lot of trees that fall over and stuff, and they could have been carried by the water. And and you know, obviously, like dragging something on the floor is much easier than cutting them down and, you know, like lifting them up. But then again, there's also the issue that he broke his bones. So I don't know.
You know, on the surface, this theory makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you begin to pick apart the finer details, this story rapidly falls apart.
Oh.
As we know, the only cliffs in the vicinity are up the mountain, and if these are what Kenji's referring to in his recording, assuming it's him, then he made it to the wetland with broken bones and in excruciating pain. Even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he had every tool in the world, building a sign of this scale would take immense effort for just one person. It's been said that something like this would take 2 days to construct for someone healthy. So how in the world did Kenji do this while critically injured? There was no axe ever found. And why would he have one on a mountain hike anyway? On top of this, the condition of the bones indicated that he would have been incredibly frail by the time he passed away. There is no way this man made this thing alone, leading me to believe that Kenji Iwamura perhaps wasn't the only one to die there.
Maybe.
Consider this. Kenji is on the hike, and somewhere during his climb, encounters someone else out there. The two are both on their way to the mountain peak, and so they pair up and continue their trek together. As the fog rolls in, the two begin to undergo equally critical errors.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. We're just finishing this up right now.
Taking their turn at fake safe rock and getting lost down the mountain's south end. Injured, one of them makes a recording.
Wait.
Their fog rolls, they pair up and continue their trek together. As the fog rolls in, the two begin to undergo equally critical errors, making their turn at fake safe rock and getting lost down the mountain's south end. Injured, one of them makes a recording while the other pleads to keep going. And so they continue downward, cross the river, and make it to the wetland where Kenji lies in agony. It's possible that this other hiker, for some reason, had an axe, and over the next few days, made this sign with incredibly limited help from Kenji. Kenji knows he can't go any further, though, and so, in a final fit of desperation, the other hiker grabs a handful of supplies and takes off to find them help.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This could explain why police never found an axe. This could explain why the voice on the recording wasn't Kenji. And this, potentially, could explain how this sign was even made in the first place. The human body can go 3 days without water, and perhaps this unknown person used their last in a final push for rescue. At the end of it all, though, they would never make it and instead would die a slow death.
Yeah.
Surrounded by darkness, by wilderness, and in a forest. Completely abandoned. Perhaps their body is still out there, but we just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a tragic end to someone who may not even exist, but goddammit, it's the only way this story makes any sense. Kenji Iwamura had to have gotten help from someone else on the mountain that night. There is just no way in which he couldn't have. I refuse to believe that there was just one person on Mount Asahidake that night. The circumstances are just too extraordinary for one to pull this off alone. The broken bones, the stranger on the tape, the rapid closure, someone migrating literal tons of weight after vital injuries. Everything about this conflicts with the reality of the situation we've been given. These theories, as far-fetched as they are the only way this makes any sense in my brain. And even then, I'm still assuming that someone had an axe.
Yeah.
Assuming that an entire second person was there. And assuming that this other person died and was never found elsewhere on the mountain. No matter which way we approach this, nothing makes sense without drawing vectors to things that may or may not have happened.
Fair enough.
To me, that's what makes this incident so incredibly perplexing. The man on the recording never stated that he was with someone. And even if we assume that Kenji wasn't alone, the only way this story makes any sort of sense, it's almost like the two of them never even knew the other existed. It's like two people encountered the exact same spot, just on completely different timelines.
Or maybe it's that the guy who was injured found the SOS sign after the other guy came or something. I don't know, like same place but different times. They just missed each other type of thing.
It goes without saying that we can theorize for hours about what took place on Mount Asahi Dake.
Hell
And
yeah.
how the SOS sign, given the evidence we currently have, shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But out of everything, the one detail that haunts me most about this is the simple fact that at the end of everything, the police have never formally identified the bones as belonging to Kenji. And this is after they were reclassified to belonging to a male, after this story spread to the world around them, and after the mystery surrounding the SOS sign and all of its bizarre inconsistencies had spearheaded this into one of the most captivating unsolved cases in history. There has never been an official answer as to who the bones belong to. And to this day, nobody knows when the SOS sign was made. And who in the world built it?
Who's Nexpo? Alright. Okay. Then okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, that's Nexpo. Okay. I like the video, but he does way too many scary things for me to you know. I can't in good faith watch this because they'll scare the bejesus out of me. But that piqued my interest and I'm gonna search about it. The SOS incident. Cause unknown. At least one, possibly others. Cause of the incident. Oh wow, it doesn't even say like a conclusion or like thing. Huh. It's pretty much exactly cutout artwork of magical princess Miki Momo was used as a case for the cassette tape. Okay. Yeah, that's Safe Rock. Okay. It is still not known who constructed this sign. Yeah, no shit. Dang. Dang. Okay. Right. Yes, I need to do things and not be frozen again because this was fucking amazing. I loved it. Anyway, I will go do an ad. I'll if you're on YouTube, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. But if you're on the stream, we shall be playing RimWorld. So I will go do an ad and I will be right back.